three guys from the proven ones.
Okay.
When we ask people, do you know the proven ones? Some say yes, some say no, but when I ask them, do you know Mr. Campbell or Mr. Kit Ramos or Mr. Gashi, they say yes, because the proven ones are five famous artists with all different backgrounds. Is that correct, or
Yes.
can you tell us something about the past, what you did, or?
Sure. About getting the proven ones together. A couple of years ago, we did a gig in Missouri, as the Manish Boys, because everybody has a history with the Manish Boys, and it went really good. And we said, man, we should try to do more, And I was also planning on making a new record, so I found a studio, and we all went in there and did a few songs for my recording, and we just loved the way that it all sounded together. And Sugar Ray Rayford was actually doing the singing, but Sugar, had so much going on that he couldn't commit to playing with us, and that's when we brought Brian in, and Brian did all the vocals that are on the recording, and then we went up and finished the Proven Ones record at Jimmy Bott's studio, where he lives in Portland, Oregon, and it just came together very, very organically. We just had a lot of respect for each other. Willie, Kid, and Jimmy had played a lot together when they were in the Fabulous Thunderbirds. Then they played a lot together. Then people of the in the Manish Boys. Darn phones. Shut that up. So we're we got it together and that way, and the songs were basically just songs that we all brought to the table. There's a few originals on the recording, but there's some really obscure cover songs, and we even do a Beatles song at the end of the recording, "Don't Let Me Down," featuring Kid's great guitar work.
We know, Mr. Kit Ramos, that you were already here in Moulin Blues. Was the T66? Was that you? No.
No, but I've been here, I think, 6 different occasions, I believe.
Yeah. Oh.
I've been here with James Harmon, I've been here with the Thunderbirds, the Manish Boys, the 44s. I've been here with several different groups.
Yeah.
So,
You mean the 44?
yeah, the 44s, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago, something.
Yeah, 2 years,
2 years ago.
Why did you choose that specific name, the Proven Ones?
We have 5 guys in the band, so we could not come up with a name everybody agreed on, and Brian came up with the Proven Ones, and everybody just went, yeah,
It
okay.
was your idea, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, Willie had, we were throwing stuff around in one of our crazy long texting sessions.
Yeah.
And he had just said, he wanted to pick a name that reflected the fact that
past,
we've all
yeah.
been around and we've all, and so I looked up I guess it would be synonyms of one of the words he used, and proven came up.
Proven, yes.
So I originally I said, how about the Proven? But there was another band in the UK that was just called Proven, and they were like a thrash metal band. So then I said, well, how about the Proven Ones? And so it stuck. So
When you start choosing names, you find out that almost every name's been taken.
Yeah, that's correct.
We came up. There was another name we really liked. We looked at it. We Googled it, and there were like 3 bands already called that. A couple of them had like minor hits in New Zealand, things like that.
Yeah.
I think people think it might be easy to come up with a band name if you want to have a band name. It's really hard.
Yeah, it is, because everything's been
You want it to reflect, the character of the band, but you don't want to make it too silly or anything like that.
Some people are going to think, yes, they already have proven everything. So are there still items for improvement when you are playing together?
Yeah.
But there's always room for.
I didn't think of it that way.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah,
there's always room for improvement.
That's my
Yeah.
question. Yes. What is the added value when you put 5 good and well-known musicians together and put them in a band?
Well, it's a collaboration. When we play together, all our experiences, whether it be the 5 of us, and we also have 2 horn players with us that have vast experiences, within the type of music that we all love. So when you bring all that together, and we actually sit in a room and start creating music, it becomes really unique, and it showcases everything that we've really done up to now. Musicians grow every day they're alive. So when we do get together, like when we were in the recording studio, we just came up with some ideas. We really didn't have an idea that we were going to record "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. That was probably the farthest thing, from my mind, that we were going to record. Kid came up with the chords. He goes, "Listen to this," Then we just kind of all fell in. We grooved for like 10 minutes. We said, "Okay, let's cut it," And it's one of the most beautiful songs on the recording.
Is this the band for this moment, or are you going to work longer together? Or?
Yes, we're going to. We just got signed with Intrepid Artists over the last few months, so it's a transition period for all of us. Obviously, Willie and Jimmy are out right now with the Blues Giants, but that was booked almost 2 years ago before we really had this solid unit here as the Proven Ones. So that was something they were contracted and already had in their pocket, so to speak. But all of us are very dedicated to this band, and moving forward, we're going to try to do as much as we can together. We already have plans to start a new record really as soon as possible.
The same question I asked to the Blues Giants. Yes, okay, that's very nice to have good positions together, but you must have a band.
Right.
And good songs, and you must be sure that the public enjoys it too.
Mm-hmm.
You're working together and you do your thing and you are good, but okay.
I think chemistry is the thing that's important, because you can put a lot of good musicians together and it sounds great because everybody's competent musicians, but it doesn't have that extra thing that I think we have. That we play together, and the sum total of the parts makes something bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody on their own have their own bands. Me and Willie have been in bands together, and Jimmy has been in bands. We've all three been in bands together.
Yeah, that's right.
But when you put everything together, it's like baking a cake. You put all the right ingredients. In the end, it's something different.
That's in a way my question. How do you guarantee that also the public enjoys the music?
There's no guarantee the public will enjoy the music. Well, we enjoy the music, so we would hope they would enjoy it.
You would.
Yeah, I think that's what music is.
Yeah.
You're a fan of the music first. You don't create something to see if the people like it. You create something that you enjoy doing, and you put your heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
You present it, and people either like it or they don't. We don't know. I hope they do. If they start throwing rocks at us, then we'll pretty much know that it's over.
I think, to get back to your question, though, the Blues Giants, for as great as all those musicians are, they're touring. That's kind of just a one-off thing that is happening. This is actually a real band that we're working on.
Blues Caravan also is thing from Roof Records. They do it every year. Okay, it's very nice to have it.
Yeah.
Good names, but I have also a problem that they must guarantee also a bit of enjoying the public and
absolutely.
Yeah.
chemistry.
Yeah,
That's very important.
I think so too.
We all enjoy playing with each other.
Yeah, we want this to be a band. We want to continue, and this is just the beginning.
I don't want to be negative, but
No.
it's just
No, I understand. It's a legitimate question, and people do it all the time. It's like a one-time thing, and they go, "Hey, let's do this."
You must do it. Collaborations is good for the.
Sure.
Yeah,
but iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Everybody, brings everybody else up to another level. I think that's.
Who in the practice is the boss of the gang of the five?
No, nobody. I don't think anybody is. We all have kind of a democracy. It's everybody's got equal say in it. Everybody has their strengths.
Like Anthony said, you have chosen the songs together.
I think we all kind of brought songs in. We wrote a few songs that we had written when we were with the Thunderbirds. Actually, that Jimmy and I and Willie we tried to do some stuff with Kim. And it never really stuck, But so a couple of those ideas we started back then, and now I've got ideas. Brian has ideas. Anthony's a great songwriter, so we're looking forward to writing songs and becoming something, moving into another level,
Outside the Proven Ones, you are still working on personal projects,
Yeah, I think all of us do. I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, I have. I'm a part of a really great band called the Delta Generators. It's my local band. We just play in the Boston, the greater New England area, as they say. Really good band, and that's a group that I play with. And everyone's got their own things, because the tricky thing about this band is just that we're all spread out. as far as the United States are concerned. You know, we all live in different places, so it's not like we can get together and gig as a band, you know, every weekend.
Yeah.
So, but as far as collaborating and the next record, I think it'll be way more cohesive. I think, and this record's great. But like Anthony was saying, originally it was supposed to be Sugar Ray singing on it.
Yeah.
And so I came in late in the game. They had already done it, and then I came in and I put all my vocals on. Whereas next time, it's going to be much more of a we'll be working together and writing together. We have the ideas, and then we'll get together and we'll flush all those ideas out together, and we'll have a much more cohesive unit as far as recording, and then of course we're just starting as a performance act, and we're just going to get better and better. Especially this year, we've got plenty of gigs and nice big stages to play on. So
Yeah.
Good to hear. From Kit, we got his last and the latest is in 2018, Old School.
Yeah.
It's also a special project. For
Yeah,
you,
it's something I did with Big John Atkinson, you know, and Kim Wilson's on there, and great rhythm section, you know, Marty, and you know.
More plans in that direction? No?
You know, just as something I did, you know, was a project that came about. I'm working with my son now too, so my son has a CD out that I produced, and we're coming over here to Europe this summer. So I'm working with him. He's got his own band, and I'm trying to groom him and let him. You know, he's learning the business. You know,
From Anthony, the same story. We got this this CD last year, I think, 2018.
Why did you have to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love playing piano, and I'm glad that I have the respect of a lot of people for playing piano and organ. But I also, I love writing songs. You know, I wrote all the songs on Why Did You Have to Go. I wrote one song for the Proven Ones recording, and 50 Shades of Blue. I also wrote all the songs. So I'm also a songwriter. You know, in the same sense as I'm as a keyboard player. So I want to just keep on doing that. And I do a few gigs locally with my band, the Boston Blues All Stars. And I have a few gigs. I have like one gig at the No Todd and Blues Festival in August with my band. But that's more of a regional thing. And as Brian says, Kid lives in L.A. and Brian and I, let's say, live in Boston. Mm-hmm. So we can't just do a regular gig on a weekend. Our gigs have to be pretty good to get everybody out there. So it's really good that we've hooked up with Intrepid Artists International, who can get the band out there for better gigs, so to speak, like here at the Ospel Moulin Blues Festival.
Okay, when you look back, what was the best advice that someone gave you?
Geez, I got advice from a lot of people and stuff. Most of it is just be true to yourself, and being a musician is hard work. I practice every day when I'm home. Like even when I go by this crummy old piano in the dining room there, I gotta play a few licks. I can't turn away from piano and stuff. So musicians, I think, are just are curious by nature, and we're always looking to better ourselves. Whether it comes to practice, even if I don't have a piano, I'm listening to music. Let's say on the airplane or whatever. I think that goes for any musician that I know. We're always trying to better ourselves. Practice. We never stop practicing.
Mm-hmm. And for you, kids?
Same thing,
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, basically, play from the heart, play what's in your soul, and it'll be real, you know what I mean? I always tried to find my own identity in music. I never tried to be somebody else, and from the very beginning, I would search for my own voice, to where somebody go, well, I know who that is playing guitar, you can tell, And that's the quest, that's what I'm still doing. I'm still trying to refine my identity in music, and
Okay.
it's a lifetime thing.
One last question for you. Still open items on your I want to do list, your bucket list?
musically or just in general?
Maybe personally.
I'd like to meet the Pope.
You mean that?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, he means it.
I love Francis. He's a great guy and he's got a great message. I did want to answer your question though about the advice, because I got a good one when I got to do Pier. When I got to do the Pier Festival with the Radio Kings in the mid '90s, I was staying at the same hotel as Hank Ballard,
He was sleeping in
Back him
gang.
up all the time.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting there and we're just sitting there like just relaxing, and I'm talking to Hank Ballard for hours. He's telling me all these stories. I mean, just amazing stories of everybody he met, and he knew everybody. Everybody he talked about, he knew their astrological sign.
Yeah.
He was big. He says he only hired water signs, you know, in his band, Pisces and Aquariuses.
Well, I never do
But
that.
but I asked him that very question. I said, if you could give me any advice, what would he say? And he said to always have a positive attitude and don't get strung out on drugs.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Those are the two things he said that he saw ruin so many people.
Yesterday there was the same story that Julius Walker told. I asked him, why did you wanted to become a musician? To get from the street, to do something. I couldn't play basketball or baseball, but I hear the music, and then he said, I want to do that. And to get from the street. Do not fall into the drugs and to the gangs and all the shit.
Yeah.
So our last question for all of you. What can we expect tonight? Outside the CD, you're going to play numbers on the album?
We're going to play the whole album.
Also personal things?
We're doing another one of Anthony's songs tonight from his last record, and we're throwing in an old vintage BB King number. But for the most part, we're doing every song on that record, and what you can expect is an explosion off the stage because we've been dying to play and we are ready to go. So I, for one, am just very excited and just, you know, I consider myself the luckiest man in the blues these days, being able to play with these guys. So, and to be able to front them and just kind of ride on the wave that they make. You're going to see a very happy person up there in me.
A good singer.
Well, thank you.
Great singer.
Kid, you
I'm
want to
gonna-
add something?
I'm going to fire myself out of a cannon at midnight. And that'll be the grand finale. That'll be it for me.
Last night it was rather cold, so you have to warm them up.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to getting on that stage. I've been on that same stage many times. I love this place here. The audience, the crowd is great. It's one of my favorite festivals all over Europe.
2015, that was the last time, I think.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be back here and see a lot of familiar faces and friends, and to be playing with these guys. It's going to be just pure joy. So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean,
you may finish it.
Sure, definitely. I just agree with everything that they've said. You know, for all of us to play together, the three of us, our fellow musicians in the band, you know, Jimmy and Willie that are on their way here right now, we just really look forward to playing music together. And that's a special bond that the musicians have. That's different than like you were talking about before, than just, you know, a group of musicians getting together for a specific tour. We really consider ourselves a band, and I think that's what separates us a little bit from maybe some of the other acts that are playing. Because after you know, this gig, we're looking forward to the next gig. Sometimes those bands that are just put together, their last gig is their last gig. You know, they're probably not going to do that again, you know, maybe for a long time. We're looking forward to our next group of gigs that are coming up, you know, because, you know, as much as we like, you know, playing music together, we actually like being together, which is very cool too.
Good to hear, gentlemen, that these were my questions. Thank you a lot for your time. I must say, for your roots time.
Yes.
And hope to see you tonight in good condition. Thanks a lot.
Thank
All
you.
right,
very
thank
much.
you. Thanks a
Appreciate
lot
it.
for having us.
Thank
Ed.
you.
Thank you.
Anthony.
Thank
You
you.
bet.